New today, a direct message from Attorney General Pam Bondi to a sitting member of Congress for comments about Elon Musk. Let's take a listen.
Now you have this Congresswoman Crockett who is calling for attacks on Elon Musk on her birthday. Let's take him out on my birthday, she says. And yet she turns and says, oh, I'm not calling for violence. Well, she is an elected public official. And so she needs to tread very carefully because nothing will happen to Elon Musk. And we're going to fight to protect all of the Tesla owners throughout this country, and it's this basic safety.
Joining me now is Texas Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, vice-ranking member on the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform and ranking member of the House Oversight Committee. Congresswoman, pardon me. It's always good to see you, my friend. And I'm going to say, I was looking at you on the monitor while you were listening to Pam Bondi. You seem to be not fazed at all. The Attorney General there, though, is telling you to tread carefully. I'm curious your response, and have some of these protests at Tesla dealerships gone too far?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to say that I participated in a Tesla takedown. That is the name of the website. And it was all about this large protest that they're calling for. And this is a nonviolent protest that they're calling for. And in fact, when I was on there, which is why the Attorney General had to say that I wasn't calling for violence, and it's ridiculous that I even have to say something like that. But because they are trying to twist our words, one of the things that I told people to do is make sure you are adhering to the laws in your area. Make sure you know what it looks like to protest and to be able to raise your voices and to exercise your constitutional right to free speech. And what we see is that they want to dull our free speech rights. They want to make sure that those that are participating in the press, because we saw that there have been recent attacks specifically on this news organization, they want y'all to kind of tamp down what you say and hopefully buy into the lies instead of going out there and just telling the truth. And so, yeah, I'm excited to see that Elon Musk, that his money as it relates to Tesla, well, Tesla's tanking right now. And I'm okay with that. So just in case the slow people listening decide to click this up later, I just want to say that I have never promoted violence whatsoever, yet I've also never made excuse for those violent actors such as the ones on January 6th. So Pam Bondi, if you have an issue with terrorism, maybe you should talk to your boss about locking back up those guys that he let out that participated in January 6th.
When Pam Bondi, though, says, you know, tread carefully, what does that even mean?
Yeah. All it means is that she's attempting to get me to say, oh, I'm going to be scared and I'm just not going to say anything, because they are willing to literally break the law. I mean, that's what we've seen them do. They are ignoring court orders. They are ignoring what our own laws are. When we look at things such as impoundment, things like that, this entire administration is rogue. And this isn't about partisanship. I keep trying to tell people that we are living in the time of good versus evil, right versus wrong. And right now, when we are looking at the black letter of the law and they are deciding, I'm just going to ignore it, then they are wrong. That is clear as day. And right now, they are going after anyone who decides that they will challenge them, whether it's the judges that are sitting on the benches, whether it is lawyers that have decided that they were going to represent their clients to the best of their ability, and most of them won against Trump and his administration. Basically, they are trying to get rid of all voices of dissent.
Okay, well, let's pick up on right versus wrong, because a new memo from the Trump administration in part directs the heads of the Justice and Homeland Security departments to seek sanctions against attorneys and law firms who engage in frivolous, unreasonable, and vexatious litigation. I've never used the word vexatious, but there you go, against the United States, or in matters that come before federal agencies. And I remind viewers, you are a trained lawyer. So in your legal expertise, is this memo by President Trump legal?
I mean, listen, he can write as many memos as he wants to write. I mean, a memo is just a memo. But as it relates to the guidance that they are trying to lay out for the Department of Justice, again, this is them going rogue. We already have provisions that lay out when someone should be able to go after someone and determine that they are vexatious or determine that they are bringing frivolous lawsuits, and therefore there should be sanctions. That's normal. I mean, listen, I've got plenty of crazies that love to sue. So I completely understand it. I completely agree with it. And ultimately, it is up to the judge to determine. But here's the thing. The Trump administration is losing. There are over 100 cases going on right now. And what we see is that we've got people like Attorney General James in New York that is winning. So what did he do in retaliation? He decided that he wanted to strip her of her security clearance. Same thing with Alvin Bragg. Alvin Bragg was the one that was able to end up making this president a felon by having the audacity to go forward on these 34 felony cases that now he is convicted of. And ultimately, he was convicted by a jury. And he had the opportunity to have terrible lawyers. He's always had terrible lawyers that lose their bar cards. And just so that everybody knows, listen, you can go and Google Rudy Giuliani. He lost his bar card as well as he lost all of his money. I still have all of my bar cards, so I'm going to just put that out there. So, who knows what will happen if they continue to go down this road. And I do applaud those lawyers that have worked for the Department of Justice and said, you know what, my oath means something. And so I am going to honor that oath, and I am going to leave this office because I will not violate the law. I will not violate my oath. I will hold on to my bar card, and we will see how many people in this Department of Justice are able to maintain their bar cards if they're going to continue to do these rogue things and ignore judges.
Let me ask you about the New York Times, which reports the IRS is preparing to reach an agreement with ICE to help locate immigrants for deportation by handing over, not just verifying, home addresses for people who've been ordered to leave the United States. These are undocumented immigrants who are paying taxes in this country. Is this going to just force more people to live in the shadows?
Alex, you can't make this up. I mean, listen. Okay, there are those of us that believe in the humanity of things and believe in doing things in due order, okay? But here's the deal. You've painted these people as like the demons. And so it's like, we got to get the demons that are dangerous and ruining our country out of here, right? But you're going to the IRS. You know why? Because undocumented people have been contributing up to $100 billion in taxes. So now if you're going to say, you know what? And mind you, these people are told that if you are here undocumented, you are still required to pay taxes. And so guess what? We get up to $100 billion a year in tax revenue from these people. And now you're saying, you know what? Go ahead and violate privacy laws, even though they are trying to contribute to this country. So guess what? People are going to go into the shadows. That's more money that we're going to lose. And we know that he has no intentions of going to his billionaire buddies to go and get that tax revenue. So this is yet another instance of how incompetent they are. Because if we lose those dollars, remember, undocumented people do not collect on Social Security, but they pay into a system that helps to make sure that we can keep Social Security solvent.
I tell you, I always love our conversations, and this one, yet another one of the books. Thank you very much, Jasmine Crockett. Good to see you.